cover the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in.
Let's go, let's go. Welcome to Unfazed. With myself, JJ, and my boy AJ next to me. We got a great episode for y'all today. Different sports today. We got y'all 3 different sports coming at y'all today. But listen, I'm doing good. AJ, how you doing, my guy?
I'm doing well, man. Feeling good. Rested, took a little nap before the show. You know, it's been a long day at work, you know. But outside of that, man, I'm feeling great. Ready to get to these sports, man. Feeling good about my Eagles just re-signed Sean Barkley. So, you know, I'm feeling good. Got my hurt season shirt on. So, you know, I'm feeling good. And my Lakers number 2 in the West. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good. But we ain't talking about them today. We get into some other stuff, man. I'm feeling good.
You know, Kings on a 4-game win streak. Commanders picked up DEEBO. I'm feeling okay. You know,
I'm feeling okay. I like that.
We ain't good yet, but we okay.
Okay.
All right. But we gotta talk about some boxing. Let's kick it off. Boxing. AJ, you watched the fight. I watched the fight. You had Lamont Rose from Capitol Heights, from the DC area, go against Gervonta Davis, Tank from Baltimore. It was a battle of the Beltway, and they got into the ring, and it was a really good fight. But it was very controversy, right? A lot of people thought that Rose got robbed. But I want to hear your thoughts, AJ. Let the people know what was your reaction and recap of the fight.
Man. First off, let me just say, man, that fight had me on the edge of my seat, and I did not expect that whatsoever. One thing I noticed before the fight, Joe, you know, Tank, I'm a big Tank fan. I've been a Tank fan since the very beginning. I just love how he fights, his punching power, his accuracy, his speed. I just love everything about Tank the boxer. But one thing I've always noticed, he likes to troll before the fight. He likes to intimidate boxers before the fights. You know, the pre-fights and all that stuff, the weigh-ins, all of that stuff. Like, it's always an intimidation factor with boxers. And this time around, I noticed there wasn't a lot of trolling. It wasn't a lot of pre-fight intimidation. Like, it wasn't a lot of that going on. And I kind of questioned that. Like, maybe he got a lot of respect for him. You know, I know they came up, you know, in the same amateur leagues, from my understanding, together and whatnot. So they know each other really well. Maybe it's just a mutual respect there, so they don't really want to troll each other. Maybe they rock with each other. Sometimes it's like that. You know, you had Terrence Crawford and Spence. They really didn't troll each other. A little bit of trash talk, but it wasn't no crazy trolling. It didn't seem personal. Both fighters respected each other. So I'm thinking maybe this is the same thing. But I'm thinking at the end of the day, man, Tank, he gonna be Tank. Gonna get this man out of here middle of 7th, 8th, at the latest by the end of the 9th. So I had a little something to do earlier that day, but I got home, you know, around, I think, the 3rd fight on the fight card, made me a drink, got me a little food. You know, I'm like, I'm going to just chill till this fight come on. Fight starts. Tank is being Tank, in my opinion, early on. I'm noticing little stuff early on, but I'm like, you know, Tank, he going to do what he do. He going to pick it up round 6, round 7, and do what he got to do. But, you know, Tank, he got to come out. He got to fill it out. That's what he do every fight. He don't throw a lot of punches. He comes out first couple rounds. He like to test the other fighter's punching power. He like to feel his way around the ring, try to see how the other boxer is going to attack him, figure out how to catch him, and then boom, I'm catching you the second half of the fight. I'm getting out of here, backflip. Let's see you later. I noticed, I forget what round it was, Joey. I think it was I want to say the 6th or the 7th round.
Okay, 7th, probably 7th.
Okay, 7th round, he went to his corner, and I want to say he did this in the Ryan Garcia fight too. But he went to his corner and he said, I'm going to knock him out. I got him. I'm going to knock him out. I'm good. I'm going to knock him out. And like I said, I've seen him do this before. But leading up into that moment, even though I felt like Tank was being Tank, I wasn't as confident. I was confident, but I wasn't as confident, right? I'm like, okay, maybe he found something. He found something, right? And I feel like in for the people who don't know, I'm not a boxing analyst. So when I say this, understand this is coming from a fan's perspective, not from an actual boxing analysis perspective. But like, it felt like whatever he found in the first couple rounds, Roach knew he was going to find. And he just, every time he went to what he thought he found from that point forward, Roach had a counter. That's what it felt like to me. It's like, whatever you thought you had, you ain't really had that. And it completely caught him off guard. Counter after counter after counter in the second half of the fight. Man, Roach, I've never seen anyone tag Tank like that in the second half of a fight, ever. Ever. I have not seen that. I've never seen anyone come out in the second half of a fight and have Tank reeling the way Tank was reeling, to the point where round 12, I'm thinking, Tank might lose this fight. And I think the one thing that saved Tank in this fight is I do feel like he won a few of the earlier rounds. I don't think Roach completely, killed him the whole fight, completely dominated the fight. I do think Tank won some earlier rounds, but I think it really helped Tank that Tank was the champion. And as we all know, especially in boxing, sometimes in UFC as well, if you are the challenger and you don't dominate the person you're trying to take the belt from, then you probably not going to win. If it's not a knockout, a TKO, or you don't win 9 of the 12 rounds in dominating fashion, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get the win. If Roach was the guy, if Roach was the favorite, the champion, all of that, the A-plus side of the fight, Roach wins this fight. But since he was the B side, since he was the challenger, I think he lost his fight. And the last thing I want to say is this, Joe. I know this is going to come up in our conversation. The whole knockdown that wasn't a knockdown. Oh, he took a knee. It should have been counted as a knockdown. I said this to you before, and I said this again. And this might sound silly to some, but it's just my opinion. I believe sometimes in sports there comes a moment where, yes, the rules are the rules. Don't get me wrong. The rules are the rules. But there are times where it's like, there's no need to call that. Prime example, I'll always go back to this, the Super Bowl between the Eagles and the Chiefs 2 years ago. Bradbury, game on the line, he holds Juju Smith-Schuster, they throw the flag, and it's like, bruh, Patrick Mahomes threw the ball 10, 15 yards ahead of the man, bro. You didn't have to throw that flag, and that literally determined the game at the very end, in my opinion. Yes, there was a lot of other factors that went into the game, but that determined the end of the game. In this fight, bro, if you go back and you watch the replay, I wish I had it. I should have actually put it up here. But if you go back and you watch that round, Tank ain't getting tagged. Tank is not getting hit. It's clear something going on with his eye. I don't know if it was grease or whatever the case may be. He takes the knee, runs to the corner, wipes off his face, and gets right back to the fight. I don't, as a boxing fan, just as a fan, from a fan's perspective, I don't mind that not being counted as a knockout. It's fine to say he lost a round. It's fine to dock him a few points, whatever the case may be. But to say that was a knockout or a knockdown just because he took a knee and ran to the corner and did what he did, I would have hated for the fight to have been determined because of that moment. That's just me as a fan. I know what the rules say. I know you go, Joe, the rules. I get it. I know. But as a fan, bro, I wasn't mad at it. And maybe it's because I was rooting for Tank. Maybe that's why. I was like, oh, okay, he good. Let's go. But like, as a fan, man, I didn't want the fight to be determined by a moment that I didn't think was a knockdown in general. But all in all, man, it was a great fight. I don't believe Roach was necessarily robbed because he didn't dominate the fight. But I do think that if he was the A-plus fighter, if he was on the A side, he'd have won the fight.
Mm-hmm. So I rewatched the fight and I scored it. All right. And I scored a fight. I had Lamont Roach. First of all, it was a great fight. I had Lamont Roach winning the first 2 rounds. Even though the first round was close, it could have went. Both rounds could have went either way, in my opinion. But I had him win the first 2. I had Tank winning 3 through 7, and I had Lamont winning 8 through 12. So I had, like, straight out, I had Lamont winning the fight 115-113. I had him winning that fight. Now,
unanimous decision.
Well, I'm the only judge, so yes.
Okay, right.
Yeah, right. So What I saw from Lamar Roach, what I haven't seen from the last two fights that I watched against Tank, which was Frank Martin and Ron Garcia, was that Ron Garcia and Frank Martin both try to be aggressive early in the fight. And that's how it is, especially Frank Martin. Frank Martin, people watching that fight like, oh my gosh, Frank Martin is giving it to Gervonta Tank. He's winning. And then next thing you know, bam, knockout. Lamar Roach was very patient early in the fight. And that's why I think Gervonta won a lot of those rounds, because although he was walking him the whole fight, like he was approaching Tank the whole fight. He wasn't backpedaling. It was Tank the one that was backpedaling, which I'm not saying he was running, but that was what it was. He was the one that was backpedaling. Roach was the one that was chasing him, but Roach wasn't throwing a lot of punches early. You could tell he was reading Tank the whole time. But then I thought he was gonna mention this. I think it was round 7 round 6. I think it was round 6 when Tank started talking. Tank started talking to him, right? He started talking. And then I could hear the commentator saying things like, oh, you can't talk back. He's getting in his head. And then, when you first watch the fight without knowing what the result gonna be, that's what you're thinking, right? You like, oh yeah, you tripping, like stay calm. And then Tank went to his corner and said, basically, they like, we got him, like keep talking. Right. They would tell him that, right? And then they came out the next round, and Lamar tagged him a couple of times, and he started talking. I'm like, okay. I'm watching this. I'm like, okay. So re-watching the fight again, I'm like, Lamar was focused the whole time. He never got out of his game plan. He literally kept approaching him and being patient. And that when the second half of the fight came, he got a lot more aggressive, throwing a lot more punches. And like I said, I had him winning 8-12, and round 7 was very close. Like I could have gave it to Lamar also in round 7, but it was so close. And the 9th round when he took the knee, I had Lamar winning that round also, right? Because Tank took that knee, came back out, and he got aggressive, but then Lamar tagged him. He countered right back and started hitting him, right? So it was a great fight. Now, with the knee situation, I do think that, like, if I'm the fighter, and if I'm a fighter in the ring, as a fan, like me and you, I get why you would say, let it be. Let's go to the Mahomes example, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl that you brought up, and I see that Juju is getting held.
You want that flag?
And I throw it. I don't throw it because I don't think Juju's going to catch it. I throw it because it's a flag. And they don't call it. I'm pissed. I'm heated. Because I would never threw that ball if you never caught the ball. That's the rule, right? Like, I get it as a fan. You don't want to see that happening. But that's the game. And that's how I feel. Because not only he took a knee, the ref start counting. And once you start counting, it's a knockdown. He said 1. He counted to 3, and then he stopped. And then Tank trying to explain, hey, I got grease in my head. I don't care. I told R12, I don't care if you trying to bend down and take a knee to get $1 million. It's a knockdown. It is. I'm sorry, but I get it. In a fan perspective, you don't want it to go back in history and say, oh, he lost because, I think it was Victor Ortiz. Yeah, Victor Ortiz. They mentioned in the broadcast too when he hit Floyd Mayweather with a low blow, and then and then they dapped up, and then after they dapped up, and the referee said, "All right, go." He tried to get Floyd like, "My bad," and then Floyd tagged him, and he dropped. It was a knockout. Nobody think about that's a W on Floyd Mayweather's record at the end of the day. And then Terrence Crawford brought it up. Floyd Mayweather hit, I forgot who the opponent was, hit somebody, broke his hand, and he hit him, and then he just took a knee, and it was a knockdown. So that's why I felt like it should have been knocked down, because it ended up being a draw. The fact that it was a draw and the knockdown could have been called, I do feel like he was robbed. But that's boxing for you. People get robbed in the time boxing. All I can say is they need to have this rematch. They need to do it again. I know Tank came in the ring and said, I'm not sure when. But then he's going back and forth with him on Twitter and all that stuff. I know people say, "Oh, it's gonna happen." I don't know. I gotta see it to believe it. This is boxing we talking about. This ain't UFC. Nobody's forced to fight nobody. And that was a close fight for Tank. Do we really think Tank? If Tank, I hope he goes back in the ring next and fight him. But he was talking about contemplating on retirement and all this other stuff. Is he really gonna fight Lamar Roach again? So I hopefully he does. I think Lamar earned the right to have another shot at this fight because it was a draw. But at the end of the day, though, it was an awesome fight. It was a great fight.
Yeah, it was a great fight. A couple things I want to say though. First off, Tank has to. I don't think he has a choice. He got to fight Roach again. Like, you can't let that draw sit on your record and not go back and rematch that, bro. Like, him being the caliber fighter that he is, he got to run that back. And then after that, he needs to take in my opinion, he needs to be, okay, Stevenson, where you at? Okay, Haney, are you ready to fight Garcia? You want your rematch? Like, it's time to pick those fights back up again. I heard him say after the fight that, at this point, I'm thinking, maybe I got a few more fights left in me. You know what I mean? After this, I think this fight, if anything, woke him up. Like, all right, bro. Like, I got to get back active. I got to get back to it. I still have some things to prove. Whereas it felt like going into this fight, it didn't seem like he felt like he had anything to prove, which is why he was thinking about retirement. But I want to say this. I thought about that, right? The Mahomes thing, I get, because he strategically threw the ball in that area to try to get the flag. So I understand him being like, yo, I strategically did that to get the flag. But from and I'm not a boxer, but I would like to think from an athlete's perspective or from a boxer's perspective in that moment, yes, Lamont Roach wants to win the fight. But that's how you want to knock down, bro. Like, I get it, I understand, but you ain't hit him to knock him down. It'd be one thing if you gotta punch in, you like, oh, I know I hit him that hard, but I think I caught him and he legit went down for a moment. But it's clear you did nothing to hurt him. I feel like as an athlete or as a boxer, I will be like, yeah, sure, I would take it, but it's not something I would be like, man, that should have been a knockdown. That should have been this. Like, I saw him after the fight. Man, I win the fight if they give me that knockdown. It's like, bro, but you didn't do no damage to earn no knockdown in that situation. I get it. It's the rules, but come on, bro. You a boxer, bro. You ain't put him on his backside. You didn't really put him on the knee. He did that himself. That's that. And the Floyd thing. I heard you bring this up before. I gotta respond to it, bro. The Floyd situation, first off, it was very controversial. People was talking about that after the fight in similar ways. But this situation was different because right after the low blow, I think it was a low blow and like a shoulder check, he kept on hitting Floyd with, similar to what Tank hit Roach with.
Exactly.
Like that shoulder check.
That. Go ahead.
That shoulder check he hit Roach with. But after that, Floyd literally knocked him out. Like it was not only was it like obviously the rule of like the unwritten rule, I believe it's like, protect yourself at all times. That's the obvious one. Just like you don't take a knee and not expect for it to be counted as a knockdown. Yeah. But it was also like, but he legit knocked you out though.
What we gonna do about it? He got knocked out.
Yeah, you literally can't do nothing about that. Like he couldn't make the 10 count. So it's not like they was like, okay, we're gonna give you 20 seconds. We're gonna give you 20 seconds to get up because we don't think we feel like that was a cheap shot. It's like, no, bro, we're gonna give you 10 seconds, and bro was done. So I feel like the situations are different. But I feel like going through, we watching a fight, looking at the numbers. I think that when you first watch the fight, you slant your opinion to Roach. I think on the second rewatch and looking at the numbers, I feel like it's a lot closer than what it appeared to be watching it live. And I think we feel that way watching it live because we're so used to Tank dominating fights. We're so used, at least I am, so used to him dominating fights the second half of a fight that when he doesn't dominate the second half of a fight, it's like, yo, what are we watching? But at the end of the day, because he was in the position that he was in, I don't, unless your stance, which it is, Joe, unless your stance is like Joe's, that's a knockdown. And that's one of the reasons why I believe he got robbed. Then I understand. But if your stance is similar to mine, which I've seen people have stances like me, that's like, bro, that's yes, well, come on, bro, that's not really a knockdown. Then I can't say he got robbed because I don't think he did enough, bro. To beat the champ, you gotta dominate. Like them belts ain't gonna change like that from a guy like Tank or a guy like Money Mayweather or a guy like Haney or a guy like Stevenson unless you dominate. And I don't think Roach dominated the fight. I think he had great moments. I think he won some rounds. I think he gave Tank maybe his toughest challenge yet for sure. But can I say he dominated the fight? I just didn't feel that way. I didn't feel that way.
I respect that.
They got to run this back though. They absolutely got to run this back.
I definitely respect that. And coming from if you were in Lamont's corner, The dude, shoulder check, like you said, he's being a little dirty, talking to you the whole time, and then he pulls that off, and it's not counting as a knockdown. You kind of like, nah, bro, I ain't like none. And it's for a unified championship, like, nah, we don't want to walk
That's
away
fair.
with a draw. So I get it from that perspective though. Like, if you're the champ, you gotta beat if you want to take my belt and I'm undefeated, you want to put an L on my record, actually give me an L. You don't want no controversy. You want like a straight up, yeah, he won.
He got me. It's not even close. He got me, which is a lot of times how we see champions lose. So,
Fact.
But Joe, gotta move on from boxing, man, and switch over to the NFL for a split second because the Commanders making moves, man. Adam Peters out here making moves. Magic, them boys out there, they making moves. Y'all see the heading. DEEBO to Washington, D.C. They play with Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. The trade was made. They went through. Joe, you tell me, man. I'm going to let you break the trade down and all that, man. What are your thoughts about DEEBO Samuel being traded to the Washington Commanders?
I like it.
I
actually love it. Now, do I think it's an AJ Brown trade? No. I don't think that. Do I think it's a DeAndre Hopkins trade to the Cardinals? Nah, I don't think that. But it's a good trade, AJ. It is. And a lot of people are killing this trade. First of all, people are acting like we fans are like, we going to the Super Bowl because we got DEEBO. That's not the case right now. We know we got a lot of holes to fill.
Well, y'all unreasonable fans are acting like that for sure.
Yeah,
but guys like you, no.
I feel you, and I get it.
Every fan base got those fans.
I mean, come on now. What would you do if your team was trash, number 2 pick in the draft, which is you had the second worst team in the league, and you get to the NFC Championship game the next year? What you gonna do? And you add DEEBO, you thinking if you don't really pay attention, you like, we got to the NFC Championship game and we added DEEBO. Oh, we no, that's not the case. We got a lot of holes to fill, but I love this move. $17.5 million contract for 1 year on a prove it deal. Prove it year. That's where he's at. Somebody said, "Oh, he overweight. He got fat." Okay, you know what he said? He tweeted, said, "Yeah, I got." Somebody said, "I think it's over 200 pounds." One day, he said 225 to be exact. But he said, "Can't wait till the season start. Fresh start, new DEEBO." So he ready, and he wanted to come to Washington. He seeked us. He went to us and said, "I want to play with y'all." So I like that he wanted to go to a contender. That's amazing. People see us as contenders. I love it. Now I know how you feel, AJ. Now I know how you feel. People see Commanders as a contender. They want to play with Jaden Daniels. You saw my boy T-Mac in the draft? Like the T-Mac was in the draft? My man said Jaden Daniels. I ain't hear nobody else. What I'm saying. He said over Patrick Mahomes and everybody. I don't even think they threw Hurts in there. That's great.
They didn't.
That's disrespect. I ain't gonna lie. But he already got submitted in AJ Brown. So if he get there, he's gonna be like a Jahan Dawson. But speaking of Jahan Dawson, we traded Jahan Dawson for a 3rd round pick. We used that 3rd round pick we got from Jahan Dawson and a 4th and a 6th to get Lattimore. To get Lattimore, we got a 5th back, and we used that 5th to get DEEBO. So basically, we traded a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick, a 6th round pick for Lattimore and DEEBO. I'll take that, AJ. I would definitely take that. I'm not gonna lie. Now people might say Lattimore watch well stuff. I'm gonna give Lattimore another chance. He came in the middle of the season with a hamstring injury, so let the man play a full off season. Let's get another cornerback, and we have 3 decent quarterbacks. I'll be straight. My man Mike from Michigan will be better this year, so I'll be excited about that. Now DEEBO, people saying he washed. Is he really? Is he really washed? Now last year he had a down year. Don't get me wrong. Christian McCaffrey was hurt. Brandon Ayuk was hurt. So DEEBO was the eye focus. He was the guy like you got to put a lazy beam on. He's going to get the ball for sure. But even in his down year, AJ, do you know he led the league in yards per reception? He led the NFL. When DEEBO gets the ball, he make magic happen. I'm sorry. He averaged 8.3 yards per reception. Yak yards. Yak. He averaged 13.1 yards per catch. That's pretty decent last year, right? So he's dangerous. And playing with Jaden Daniels is a weapon. Terry McLaurin is Terry McLaurin. So when you line up with the Commanders, right? You gotta think about, okay, DEEBO motion out, right? DEEBO motion, like, okay, what's going to happen? Are they going to do a jet sweep with DEEBO Samuels? Is he going to hand it all to the running back, or is he going to keep it and run it, or is he going to throw it over the top to Terry McLaurin? So what I think the Commanders are going to do, DEEBO is not going to be our true number 2, I don't think. I think we're going to draft the receiver in the first round probably, or we're going to get a receiver far in free agency, and they might be our number 2, like our Brandon Ayuk. Like type of a guy we could depend on more so outside of Terry, who could beat somebody on third down. And DEEBO gonna be that Swiss Army knife, like you could just put him anywhere with Cleve Kingsbury being excited. So I love the move, AJ. A lot of people trying to kill it. Obviously, this ain't putting us over the top, putting us with y'all as far as roster wise, but it put us in another level. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about DEEBO. You know what I mean? I haven't been the biggest fan of DEEBO for a while now. I will admit he had a great 2020. No, on the field too. Like remember I said this year when it was, or this offseason when the Niners was about to trade away Ayuk, I was like, I don't think if they lose Ayuk, I think they done, because I don't think DEEBO could carry the load. And then Ayuk came out, he got the extension, and then Ayuk got hurt. And one of the first things I said was, I don't know about him as a receiver. I don't know about him as a route runner. I'm just not the. He's a good player, but I don't think he's gonna be able to carry the load. Now, granted, DEEBO did deal with some injuries and things of that nature. So that's a part of the reason why he didn't look the same last year. But kind of what I said ended up coming to fruition. Like he looked kind of how I actually looked a little worse than I expected last year. But what I will say is, you know, DEEBO, when it comes to just raw numbers, I mean, 802 yards receiving 1 year, 391. He had the 1,400 yard receiving year, 636, 892. Like, he ain't gonna give you eye-popping, gaudy receiver numbers or even eye-popping yards as a running back either, because we know they run him out of the backfield as well. The 49ers did, but he does have big-time impact. And the thing I will say I like about DEEBO is his mentality and the toughness that he brings to wherever he's playing. Like, I feel like a big part of the 49ers was, when I thought of the 49ers, one of the first players I thought of was DEEBO, just because he's the guy that brings that toughness. He's the guy that's running through tackles, breaking tackles, getting in guys' face, talking trash. Like, he's one of the guys you absolutely positively have the game plan for if you're going up against the 49ers. And so overall, even though I'm not the biggest fan of DEEBO as a player at this point in his career, for the Commanders, I do like the move, because you do have another weapon on that offense that can take the ball out of the backfield, that can hit some jet sweeps, that can catch some screens and take it to the house, you know, that can bring that energy, that tenacity on offense. You got a guy who's going to catch the ball. He ain't going to be fumbling all over the place like De'Ami Brown. You know what I mean? Like, even if it comes down to the simple stuff, I know he had a couple drops late in the season, but I think he's sure-handed. I think he's a guy that's going to protect the football. I think he's a smart football player. So I think he brings that to the Commanders. I don't think they had that this past season outside of your guy, Scary Terry. Mm-hmm. So he's obviously an upgrade at receiver 2. You can make an argument like maybe an upgrade at RB2 as well, potentially. Like, he is an upgrade for the offense. I agree with you. I don't think that, and I don't know if you said this or not, but they're not done. I think the Commanders got some more moves coming up here in free agency that is going to fill out this team a bit more, and y'all got some draft picks. On his head, as an Eagles fan, when the trade was, because I'm expecting y'all to make moves, when the trade happened, I said, okay, like, I expected this. Mm-hmm. And if there was any receiver that I would prefer as an Eagles fan, I'm not gonna lie, if there's any receiver that was available that I would prefer for y'all to get, it will be DEEBO. I'm not gonna lie, because you know how I feel about DEEBO. But that's me as an Eagles fan. Me as just a pure NFL fan, as an analyst, and somebody looking from an objective standpoint, I think it's a solid move for y'all. I really do. I think it's a solid move. Get the ball to him, get out of the way, see what he can do. Get the ball to him, get out of the way, see what he can do. The more options Jaden Daniels has like that, the better off the offense will be. But for me, I'm interested in seeing what else y'all do, because I'm like that ain't it. That's cool, but that we gonna see what else y'all do. And I will say this, and I'll because we talk about the Commanders, I'm gonna give a little spoiler alert. We're gonna talk about Devontae Adams pretty soon. So I'm gonna just get this spoiler alert because I got other teams I'm gonna talk about too within the Devontae Adams thing. This is what I will say. If I am the Commanders, I might draft a receiver to be receiver 2. If I'm the Commanders, just cut Devontae Adams. Excuse me, Mr. Tate, you trying to come to DC? That's the first call I'm making. Like, I'm pairing Terry McLaurin up with a guy that could challenge him for receiver 1 because of the stress it puts on defenses and the window that I believe y'all are in. You might feel differently because maybe you want a younger guy, but I'm looking at it like, look, y'all was just in the NFC Championship last year. Your boy on a rookie contract, Jaden Daniels. If I can go get a Stephon Diggs, if I could go get a Devontae Adams, if I could go get a proven guy at receiver that's looking to win right now, and then pair him up with, now you got Jaden as a threat to throw and to run. You have Terry McLaurin, obviously on the outside as a threat to do his thing. You have DEEBO doing his thing, and then you pair him up with a guy like Tay Adams. Now you cooking. Now you cooking with some grease. So that's just me. So that's why I'm interested in seeing what else y'all do, because there's nobody can convince me that y'all not gonna make more calls at receiver. Like, y'all gonna make some more calls at receiver, and I'm interested in seeing who y'all bring in, if anybody. I'm interested in seeing how that goes.
I mean, T. Higgins available.
I mean, look, they just franchise tag T. Higgins, though, right?
Yeah,
that would be nice too.
But here's the thing, though, with Devontae, like you said, the age, man. I get it. We want to chase something right now, but I mean, come on now. DEEBO is already about to be 30. Terry McLaurin is getting up there too, by the way. I mean, Terry McLaurin ain't the youngest dude, but he ain't old. He like 27, something like that. All right, 28. But Devontae Adams, yes, he's still an elite route runner. We're gonna get to him, but I wouldn't want to get him right now. If we can get him for a cheap deal, if he's cheap, yeah. But if he's not cheap, no. Let's get somebody else. We got patience, man. And we don't need Devontae Adams right now to win something. We can get somebody else, tell you the truth. But DEEBO Samuels, you mentioned the big play machine. One thing about DEEBO, he makes that one play that get the whole team hype. That one play, you saw it 2 years ago. 3 touchdowns. What kicked it off? The screen. He called a screen. It was a touchdown, and that's how you know the crowd defense going crazy. Scored 7 possessions straight, something like that. Remember that? So
he was balling.
He like that man. Like when I look at DEEBO, sorry, I said DEEBO. DEEBO, I don't look at his production. No matter what his production is, AJ, you line up on defense, you watching him because of the big. He like Percy Harvin. Remember Percy Harvin? He was so scary with the ball.
A more physical Percy Harvin, without like, he's not a speedster, but he's a physical bruiser that has the impact like Percy, I would say.
Yeah, my point is the big play. Like, if Percy Harvin get the ball, it's dangerous. Like, I remember we played when we were the Seahawks. He scored 2 touchdowns back to back, and they both got called back. It was crazy, right? And then he scored a third one that was a real touchdown. But he scored a kick return in the Super Bowl, by the way, against the Broncos. And DEEBO ran a pump back, a kickoff back, and they got called back. He's a kickoff returner too. So my thing with DEEBO, when he's on the field, one thing that Eagles fans always said, "Oh yeah, I got is Terry. So we got to worry about is Terry." Not no more. DEEBO ain't got to get one catch, but if he's on the field, you're going to account for him because of the big play threat he is, and you know we're gonna move him. Probably every other play he's motioning. Every other play that's gonna happen. Defense is gonna shift, and then you gonna have to make a decision. You know, either we're gonna have to make sure he don't get this big play going on, and we're gonna get somebody else, or we gotta do with Terry. And when Terry's one-on-one, I'm cool with it. I'm cool. I mean, I got that little rookie over there, but he wasn't one-on-one. Little rookie,
don't disrespect Quinyon. Like he ain't. Look,
Quinyon, you did your thing, but Quinyon, y'all never blitzing. You got 4 rushes every time, and you got safety help almost every time. So it's not like he one-on-one on the island, all right? So I ain't giving him too much credit, but he did his thing, though. He was the best rookie cornerback last year. He ain't like my man Gonzo and the Patriots. He wasn't like that. He wasn't like PS2 his rookie year. He wasn't like my man Sauce, but he did his thing, though. So, but my Terry would love to see him one-on-one without the help, because when he got the interception, it was like 3 dudes over there. I'm forgetting about that. All right, so
only 2 guys touched the ball on that play, though. And it was him and Q. That's all I'm saying. You lucky I ain't got my Q stats in front of you. But I'm gonna let you get these shots off for now. Just know, I didn't know we was gonna go here today, but just know.
I ain't trying to take a shot, but my whole point is, you gonna have to see, like, when we get somebody else, it's gonna be Terry will have more one-on-one opportunities, which is beautiful for my boy Jaden Daniels, because he got that accuracy. We know that.
Like I said, as a fan of the sport, I'm like, okay, this is a good move for the Commanders for all of the reasons that you say. Because I do agree, defenses, you got to have really good eye discipline. You got to know what you're doing against him. You got to, first off, you got to tackle. I think that's the biggest thing. When he went off against us, we had a bunch of guys that couldn't and wouldn't tackle. So he is a big play machine, and he asked to go here. He getting a little older, the window's closing, so he's going to be hungry and determined to make this a big time year. As an Eagles fan, I ain't worried about DEEBO. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, as an Eagles fan at this point, bro, with these young corners that we have, with this young defense, now we got to bring back Zach Bond. We got to see also what Philadelphia does this offseason, because Philadelphia got some guys they need to bring back. They got some guys that is rumored they're gonna make a trade. It's a lot of stuff going on with Philly too. And we throwing money. We throwing money right now. You know what I mean? So I'm interested in seeing what the approach is gonna be to this offseason, especially defensively. The offense is basically set. I think we got to re-sign Cam Jurgens, our starting center, at some point. But the offense, yeah, we will. Yeah, how we not letting him go out the door at all? Yeah. And so that'll happen, but I'm very interested in seeing the defensive approach. But if we can bring back Zach Bond, I know we lost Slay, but I still like Isaiah Rodgers. You got Q, you got Cooper DeJean in the slot. I think in the defensive front, and I don't know if it's going to happen. But if you manage to make a trade for Myles Garrett or even a Max Crosby and pair him up with Jalen Carter in the middle, and then you got Nolan Smith on one side and a guy like Max Crosby on the other side. Goodness gracious. And so as an Eagles fan, I ain't tripping. And we got Vic Fangio. So I think Vic Fangio will have us prepared for matchups like that. Now, what would make me a little nervous is if y'all make another big time move for a big time receiver. Rookies are rookies, but if y'all make another move for another receiver that's going to play on the outside, not a guy who's going to move all over the place, somebody that's going to play on the outside. Now, that could be tricky on our defense.
And put DEEBO in that slot. Woo!
See, but we got Q for this. Or we got Cooper DeJean for the slot. That's why I say I'm not too worried about him unless you get another guy. If he's the only other guy, bro.
I mean, Cooper DeJean, he a physical dude, but my man physical too.
But he got to get open on Coop. That's the problem. He got, bro. Hold on.
It ain't about that though. That's not DEEBO. DEEBO ain't no. I mean,
but you saying when you say put him in the slot, I'm thinking he coming out of the slot making a move quick, sense. If you use DEEBO, like I said before, quick jet sweeps and screens and things of that nature, then we have a different conversation. But when you say slot, I'm thinking like you finna have him in the slot running routes and stuff. I'm like, what?
But with DEEBO, it'd be quick action though, so to get the ball in his hands.
See, but
DeJean gonna have to tackle. I know you like tackling.
I mean,
you like tackling. I'm just saying.
You see what he did to Derrick Henry? Dropped him on his nugget. I'm just saying he dropped that ball on his nugget. I'm just saying.
That man had full momentum, and Derrick Henry there.
I mean, you see what he did to Jamar Chase when Jamar Chase was doing all that running back and forth, and my boy was right there, hit him in the legs. Boom, we going the other way. I'm just saying. I want to see what Philadelphia does if they continue to work on improving this defense, or if we retain guys, or if we mess around and lose a bunch of guys. I think then we can readjust the conversation about the defense. You know what I mean? Then we could readjust how we look. But like, just hypothetically speaking, if we run this same defense back, even without Slay, and y'all got Terry and y'all got DEEBO, with our linebackers, defensive lines, and say,
we're not done, man. We're not done.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. I want to see y'all continue to. But I'm just saying, as an Eagles fan, I'm like, okay, it's cool. I'm not. It's not for me. It's not a needle. It's not a needle mover. But let's see what else they do though, because clearly guys want to come play for y'all. So
of course, here's a cool thing though. March 10th, which is next Monday, the day before the show, is when legal negotiations happen. When they say, "Oh, such and such sign with us," and it's not on paper, but it's like verbal. Yep. So we come on the show on Tuesday. we're gonna have a lot of moves to talk about on Tuesday. So we
Yeah.
know our team's gonna be busy, and then the legal documents can be signed on the 12th, which is Wednesday. So I can't wait. It's gonna be a good show next week.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to it. Man. We got two aggressive GMs, man. Dallas, get like us, man. Come meet us at the party, man.
I give Dallas credit for signing a D tackle.
Yep.
And restructuring CD Lamb's contract also. They did that today. So I give them credit for that. But come on now. They ain't touching Howie and Peter. Come on,
man. It's looking that way so far. But we gonna see. But yeah.
Howie name is HR. Dang. That's crazy. What's the initials?
I never
he's a hiring manager for real.
Right. He getting people paid. HR.
Yeah, human resources.
I'm still in that. Thank you. I'm still in that.
I just realized that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's funny.
Hopefully he don't get this dude. Well, he don't need this guy. But Devontae Adams is on the loose. He's been released. Jets, I mean, y'all talking about y'all open the trade talks, and the rest of the league are like, for what? We know you have to release him unless you're gonna pay him $30 million. So they released Devontae Adams. He's a free man. There's a lot of rumors going on about him and Aaron Rodgers teaming up again. But AJ, kick it off to you. What do you think is the best destination for Devontae Adams?
First and foremost, if I'm Devontae Adams, I'm staying far away from Aaron Rodgers at this point, bro. Like at this point, now you done played with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, right? And you saw where Aaron Rodgers was. Then you played with Aaron Rodgers this year, and you saw where Aaron Rodgers was. It's time to let that be what it's going to be, bro. Like, you don't want to attach your future now and the rest of your football career potentially to Aaron Rodgers. Go play with another quarterback. Go play with somebody else that's proven in the league. I got a few teams in mind. In no particular order, I think the Rams should be a team he's looking at. You know, I know they're getting ready to let go of Cooper Kupp some way, somehow, whether they cut him or trade him. So it's going to be a spot open there. You got Matthew Stafford. You got Kyron Williams running the ball out of the backfield. Obviously, you got Puka Nacua on the other side of the field. That's going to take some pressure off of you. And again, Matthew Stafford willing and dealing from the pocket, you know, with a head coach like Sean McVay, who's going to make sure you touch the football. And so I can see him in that situation with that team, and I can see them being a true threat in the NFC. So that's one team that comes to mind for Devontae Adams. Another team that comes to mind, Green Bay. I see nothing wrong with going back to Green Bay. Now, I have my thoughts on Jordan Love, but Jordan Love has gone through the sophomore slump that I believe he was going to go through. I believe Jordan Love will be better this season. Jordan Love was also nicked up throughout the year this year, missed a couple games, backup came in, got a couple wins. But I thought Jordan Love was due for the year he just had. And they still messed around to make the playoffs. Lost in the first round in Philadelphia, but they still messed around and got into the playoffs, right? And so I look at Jordan Love. He's still a young, talented quarterback. They still have Josh Jacobs in the backfield, so defense has got a game plan for that. And they don't have a proven number one, bro. They got a bunch of guys that you can get the ball to, and a bunch of guys defenses kind of got a game plan for. It works to your advantage in certain situations where it's like, you don't know who's going to get the ball when you're going against Green Bay. You just never know because everybody's like a number one out there. But then it works to your disadvantage where you really need that first down and you don't know who to go to. I really need this third down conversion, and I don't know who to go to, right? I think you need to go get a guy like Devontae Adams, right? A guy that's going to get open, a guy who's going to demand the ball, a guy who's going to demand that attention at the very least. It opens the field up for your running game and vice versa. It opens the field up for Devontae Adams, and it opens the field up for the rest of the receivers and makes it easier on your quarterback, Jordan Love. And lastly, I said it before, bro. I know you don't agree. I know you're not feeling it, Joe. But if I am the Commanders, it's hard getting to the NFC Championship. And this NFC right now, if you look around, bro, this NFC, in my opinion, it looks sweet. I don't think the 49ers are going to be what they was. I don't know if the Rams are going to make a big-time move for Devontae Adams. You know, Dallas, we just talked about Dallas. Green Bay, who knows what they do this offseason. You got Philadelphia and the Commanders. For real, you looking at the NFC. So in this window that I have right here, and you could think long game at a later date, you could go get a Devontae Adams and then still draft the receiver. You could still think long game, but for the immediate, a guy that's hungry to win, a guy that is proven in this league, a guy that's a proven number one that's going to take some pressure off the rest of the offense and make it easier on Jaden Daniels, I am absolutely calling Devontae Adams and seeing if he wants to come to DC, and vice versa. If I'm Devontae Adams, I am absolutely calling. Now, I know this is a wild card because Jaden Daniels is young. We know he's good, but he's young. He's not as proven as maybe the other two quarterbacks I mentioned just because they've played a little bit longer. But at the end of the day, we know he can play, right? I am calling the Commanders and saying, I like what y'all got going over there. Let me come join for maybe give me a 2-year deal. I think Devontae still can be Tay Adams for another 3 years. I really do. I think Devontae can still, he's 32 right now. I think he could be Tay Adams till he's 35. And then after that, I think he's done. But make that call. Washington, y'all need another receiver. Bring me in. And I think offensively, man, y'all will be dangerous. So those are the 3 teams that come to mind. And wild card, I don't know their financial situation, but I'd also be thinking about Baltimore. But I'd have to double check their financial situation. But I'd be definitely thinking about how can I go play with Lamar Jackson. And at this point, money shouldn't matter too much to Devontae Adams. Go somewhere where you can win. So go somewhere where the quarterback is good, where you're gonna get opportunities within the offense, and you have a true opportunity to win. So those are the 3 teams I'm thinking of. Wild card, Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, because he was scheduled to make $35 million, but most was not guaranteed. So releasing them, they got 8. The Jets get $8 million in dead cap, which I think means that they're paying Devontae Adams.
Oh yeah,
to leave. Yeah. 8. So he making $8 million. So whatever contract you give him, you can attach the $8 million to it. You add it to it. But you know what? No, I'm not mad about Devontae Adams now. You know?
I'm telling you, bro. This Tay Adams, Joe. This Tay Adams, bro. Come on, bro.
I'm tripping. Yeah. I'm mad when I cut this video up. The people from the last segment want to know I said this, but here are my teams. It's a few teams I have on my list, and you might be surprised on some of them. You can't go wrong with the Chiefs. I mean, if you want to get a ring, Devontae, go to the Chiefs. You know, well, not guaranteed because we have it happened last year, but a couple of a month ago. But if you want to get a ring, the Chiefs is like the way to go for real. So the Chiefs, never playing with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, you can't say no to that. With DeAndre Hopkins on the other side, that'd be crazy. All right, the Bengals. So this is crazy. All right, the Bengals, if they don't want to pay T. Higgins top dollars, because the Bengals are also in the window of like win now too, right? If you don't, you could be able to, you can afford Devontae more than you can afford T. Higgins, because T. Higgins wants some top dollars because he thinks he's a number 1 type receiver. So you can trade T. Higgins if you don't want to pay him and get some capital from that, while bringing in Devontae Adams and signing him on a low contract, pairing him up with Jamar Chase. But last time I checked, their talks with Jamar Chase is far away. That's a guy I really want in DC. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Jamar that would be freaking nuts. That would be
Watch out for that.
You got too much dip on your chip now, man. Hello, slow down.
Hey,
I'm just messing with
we in the NFC.
That'd be crazy.
I mean, we don't threat to them. So
that would be crazy.
But so those teams, the Steelers. I like the Steelers, right? The Steelers have the 9th most cap space, 9th most, so they can retool their defense and their offensive line through the draft, and they can pair them up with George Pickens. And it was a rumor that the trade went through for him to go to. No, that was Brandon Ayuk. Sorry, the Steelers were trying to get Brandon Ayuk and Devontae Adams last year. So they already pursued him. So I think getting the Steelers, playing with Mike Tomlin, giving whoever the quarterback is, Russell Wilson or Devontae, if it's Russell Wilson, I think that would be cool for Devontae Adams. Another route runner for sure, guy who's going to beat that guy one-on-one. You have 2 guys like that. I like that. The Chargers, I think the Chargers would be a good fit for him too. Playing with Harbaugh, a winning coach, a team that's on the rise, on the come up. A team that's lacking receivers also. They only got McConkey for real. Quentin Johnson was garbage. I mean, fantasy users were upset about Quentin Johnson because he was dropping so many passes. But you pair him up with McConkey, who had a really good rookie season. Pair him up with Devontae Adams. I think that would be good for them too. And lastly, the Cowboys. The Cowboys.
Cowboys should definitely be making the call. Yes.
That'll be big. You got Brandon Cooks, who I think is a free agent now. You got Tolbert, who had okay type year last year, but he could be your third receiver. But you got CD Lamb. You just restructured his contract, so you're freeing up some money to do some things. It's the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like you get all the notoriety, right? And I mean, I just think they get another receiver. I remember, it's funny. I was coming across. I was scrolling through the shorts from a long time ago, and from the NFC East panel from last year, 2 years ago, right? You was like the Cowboys are trying to be like the Eagles. They're trying to get 2 number 1 receivers. They're trying to get this your opportunity right here, right? So to get Devontae Adams, pair him up with CeeDee Lamb, I think that'll be good for Dak Prescott because Dak Prescott was at his best when he had Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. Once Amari Cooper left, well, I'm not gonna say that. He had his best year as far as MVP wise with only CeeDee Lamb, but he broke the Cowboys record. With Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. He wasn't MVP, but he broke the record that year for the Cowboys passing touchdowns, I think, for the year. So, but I think the best place would be probably if you want to do something in the playoffs, and get his numbers, whatever. I think the Chargers would be good for real with that culture, and he would be the number 1 receiver going over there.
I'm gonna say this, bro. Devontae Adams is 32. This is gonna sound disrespectful. If I'm the Chargers, I'm absolutely making the call. If I'm the Steelers, I'm absolutely making the call. Yeah. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I'm absolutely making the call. If I'm Devontae Adams, I ain't even picking up the phone. I ain't even picking up the phone. I'm not picking up the phone. I'm trying to win. And I'm looking at the teams that was in the playoffs. That's right. I'm looking at who's in the playoffs, who is competing right now, who got a chance to win without me, who was making noise without me, and then you drop me in, and boom, we could finish the deal. That's I'm looking at it like, not to compare it to the Eagles, but I'm looking at it like, who could I go be a Saquon Barkley for? Like what? Like that type of impact, meaning just be that cherry on top to take my team. Man, the Chargers, bro. I got to see Herbert do something worth noting in the playoffs, man. Like I'm not trying to go nowhere where I gotta. Is he gonna show up or is he not? Is he gonna give me the ball? Is he gonna I'm not with that. Steelers, y'all gotta at least let me know what y'all doing at quarterback. I don't know if y'all want to go with Fields or if y'all want to go with Russell Wilson. Y'all gonna draft a guy. Y'all ain't won no playoff games in X amount of years. Y'all think I'm finna come change that? I wouldn't be sold on that situation. In Dallas, like you said, bro, yes, he had an all-pro season one year. Dropped off in the first round by the Green Bay Packers. He played with CD and with Amari Cooper. Dropped off in the divisional round or the first round of the playoffs. First round. He didn't play with all kind of talent from Dez Bryant at one point and Jason Witten and CD and Amari Cooper and all Zeke Elliott and Tolbert and all these guys, or Tony Pollard, all these guys dropped off in the first round, dropped off in the divisional round. I'm not going over there. Y'all, they got some bad juju over there, bro. Now again, if I'm them teams, I'm making that call. But if I'm Tay, no. Baltimore, what's up? Commanders, y'all was just in the NFC Championship last year, and y'all got potential. Let me see what y'all talking about. Rams, y'all almost knocked off the defending champions this past year. Stafford is a champion. Let me see what y'all talking about. That's where the headspace got to be if you Tay Adams. If he was a little younger, maybe you could go to one of these teams and test it out for a while. But you got about 3 years left, bro, to go win a championship. Go to a team with a quarterback that is proven to be a winner. And I hate to get that tag to Jaden so early, but he a baller. So, and I think that they going to continue to, even after they get Tay, if y'all sign Tay, y'all going to keep building after that. So I'm looking at them 3 situations, saying them the best situations for Tay Adams.
You know what? You talked me into it. You talked me into it. Come on, Devontae. Come on, man. I mean, I know you tried to diss us last year and say it's a worse fan base, worse play, but we'll forgive you. Come on now. Come on down to Northwestern Stadium. We'll take you. It would be crazy. That's the move up. Him or honestly him. He's the first name that came to mind. Like my guy actually broke the news. My guy Anthony broke the news. Like, man, DEEBO went to the Commanders. And my first thought was like, man, call me if they get Tay Adams. That was my first thought. Call me if they get Tay. Because at that point, all right, now
Now you stretching the defense out. Quinyon, who you gonna take? You gonna take McLaurin or you gonna take Tay Adams? Because whoever you don't take, the other one probably gonna get off. We don't have Slay no more, and so we relying on Isaiah Rodgers or Keely Ring or somebody along them lines to defend that on the outside. Are we gonna move Coop to the outside? I know that's been rumored as well. Do I trust Coop against Devontae Adams? No, I don't. Like at that point, now the gears are turning. All right, bro, we got a and then you got DEEBO with the jet sweeps and all. I'm just saying. I'm just you muted.
And driving running back like Scatterbo, I think his name is.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Arizona. I'm sorry. Whew. Trade up and go in Ashton Genty. Oh no.
So you got my word. If y'all make the move for Devontae Adams, then it's already been put on record that I think it's an amazing move for y'all. I can't then be like, say washed. I can't say that. I can't backtrack.
Talk me into it, man.
I'm telling you, man. This is Tay Adams,
I like
bro.
the move now. I like it.
Telling you, man.
I like it.
It's on me. It's on me.
Okay.
Last topic. Yeah, you got me thinking over here. Last. I just want to say that Eagles fans, I still think we have them though. You know what I'm saying? I still think we figure it out, but I gotta be honest. Right, set the record straight. And I'm giving unbiased opinions. I'm giving them.
We gotta put our defense out.
That's another thing. That's another thing I was going to say today too that I kind of forgot. Y'all offense was already super efficient this past year. Yes, it could have got better, but it was already super efficient. Yeah, y'all could use another receiver. Y'all could use some offensive linemen and things of that nature. But the defense too. The defensive line, y'all getting Marshawn, like y'all could use another corner. Like, I don't know what if y'all gonna re-sign Bobby Wagner. Like it's some guy, Greenlaw is available now too, though.
I know.
I don't know if you're interested in Greenlaw. Yeah, that's true. Only 27 though.
I know, and he 49 AP made the call.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be very interesting free agency. Very interesting free agency. But last topic of the day, my boy, Kyrie Irving. Sad news, man. Kyrie Irving went out the other night. Bad ACL tear. Very gruesome injury to me. Anytime you hyperextended or anything of that nature, it's not fun, man. The Mavs have had a rough season, man. Rough couple weeks. Joe, what are your thoughts on Kyrie Irving and the Mavs right now going forward?
I feel bad for Kyrie Irving. So he was playing the Kings, so I'm watching the game, and it was non-contact. He went to the rack, and then his knee just like
buckled
went out, and he fell. Pulled a Kobe, went to the free throw line, made both of the free throws. The security guard around the floor. You can't do that. They got a foul. They fouled finally, and then he got him off the court, and we got a technical free throw shot or whatever. But Nico Harrison, what a bad month. What a bad 3 days for you, man. You go out, you trade Luka Doncic. And then you trade him for a 30-plus-year-old player who has an injury history. I mean, AD is always hurt. He plays his first game cooking. I'm here. Playing power forward. He's happy. Boom, he goes down.
Same game.
Like the same game. He goes down. Okay. It's undetermined where he's gonna come back, but they saying he should be back before the playoffs. You're already missing oh my God, Lively's always hurt, already hurt. Then the next game, I think, or next two games, Gafford gets hurt. Boom. Okay, Gafford gets hurt. And I think he got hurt against us too. I think, oh snap. Yeah, it was against us. We were playing him and he got hurt, right? Off a screen. He said the screen got hurt. So he gets hurt. So now you down to this Kyrie. Kyrie balling. Kyrie Irving is what? 33, 32 years old, playing close to 40 minutes a game, AJ, at that age. I mean, that's bound to happen. You run him down to the ground, and he gets hurt. So, and then right after Kyrie news come out, it's news that say Anthony Davis might be out for the year too. Like, you made this trade for Luka because you feel like you can win now. That's why he made his trade. Yep. That you can win today. And then Luka goes to LA and they only lose one game. In the process, beat the Clippers twice, beat the Denver Nuggets. I mean, they're on the road right now. And not only that, they are the number 2 seed while you all the way holding the last spot in the play-in. At this point, you might as well tank. You know why you might as well tank? Because when you made the Luka trade, you only got a 1 draft pick back for that trade. That's it, 1. Because between 2027 and 2030, they don't have no first-round picks. The Hornets got their first-round pick in 2027, which is top 2 protected. But you in championship mode, so you ain't getting no top 2 pick, right, Nico? 2028, the Thunder got it, who are the number 1 seed, which is crazy, which is an unprotected swap. 2029, the Rockets got it, which is unprotected. And 2030, the Spurs got it. So you ain't gonna drop like it's crazy. So my whole thing is it's just a disaster over there. Nico Harrison. It started when the whole Luka trade. Everything is sunshine in LA. LeBron is looking like I'm gonna get my 5th ring, and Nico is looking crazy. So I feel bad for Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving was balling. I mean, he was doing his thing. He was doing this thing. He was cooking. But it's unfortunate that he got hurt. And as he was shooting his free throws when he was hurt, he was saying, "Thank you, God. Thank you, God." Right? So he was grateful. So that's what, man. It's a shame. So Dallas fans, man, go back to the stadium and bring out the casket one more time because I know it's a sad day for y'all right now.
Man, I couldn't have said it better, bro. I feel for Kyrie, number 1. Kyrie, I don't talk about it enough. Kyrie's one of my favorite players in the league. He is box office. Kyrie, now I've seen LeBron in person. I've seen Kobe Bryant in person. I've seen Anthony Edwards in person. I've seen Anthony Davis in person. I've seen a lot of guys in person in the league, bro. Nobody, and I mean nobody, put on a greater show than Kyrie Irving when he came to Minnesota, playing with the Nets at the time alongside James Harden when I first moved out here to Minnesota. And he had 30 points. It was the loudest 30 points I ever seen in my life. The most sauciest crossover spins off the side of the backboard, off the side of like it was just so many moments. So I was just like, yo, he was with my wife. Like, yo, you see that? Did you how he make that? Shooting the ball over triple and double teams. I'm like, yo, I ain't never seen nothing like this. Is crazy because all of these shots are contested. He was on it. And the crazy thing about that game, Joe, Brooklyn was getting blown out. Like, they was getting blown out, bro. Like, the Wolves was killing the boys. And Kyrie he was the show. Up to the last buzzer, he was the show. So I feel for Kyrie, man. Superstar in the league. I feel for the Mavs as a team because the actual team didn't see this coming. They didn't anticipate the day where they wouldn't have Luka Doncic. They just didn't. Nobody outside of the ownerships, outside of the GM for the Mavs and the GM for the Lakers and ownership thought that this day would come. So now you put yourself in a situation where, like you said, soon as you trade Luka out of the door, everybody else go down. Gafford, you lose AD, you lose Kyrie. And now you're in a situation where, like you said, you have no choice but the tank. That's literally all they could do, bro. That's all they could do is tank. I think the owner jacked up the ticket prices for the next year or something like that. Just seen a report like he jacked up the ticket prices by 8%. Bro, y'all losing fans. I don't know why you still jacking prices up like this. Y'all are losing fans. But this is what I will say, Joe. I want to take this moment to give a shout out to a good friend of mine. Hey, Kev. What's up, Kev? I don't know if you're watching. We're going to send this to you later if you ain't watching. But hey, Kev, I don't, we're not going to bloviate about injuries and be happy about injuries. We're not happy about that. But it was a lot of talk about the Lakers in the offseason, how nobody wanted to come play with the Lakers. Their lure is not there anymore. And we about to go get Klay Thompson and we going to do this. And we're in a much better position than the Lakers. And I just find it funny, Joe, push come to shove, we end up with who you've always said is the best player in the league, Luka Doncic, and we're now in the 2nd seed, and y'all falling by the wayside. That's one person I do not feel bad for. And Kev is my Eagle brother. We Super Bowl champs, baby. We Super Bowl champs. But I do not feel bad for my Eagle brother that's a Mavs fan, man, because he talked real greasy all offseason for the Mavs to be in this situation and for the Lakers to be the 2 seed. And the scariest thing about the situation for the Mavs and for the Lakers is this. Luka, even though he has moments where he catches his stride, he ain't really caught his strides yet. He ain't really Luka just yet. When he get to being Luka averaging 28, 9, and 9, and you pair that with LeBron, probably give you somewhere between 24 to 26 a game, 7 and 6, somewhere around it. Oh, it's going to get filthy. It's going to get filthy, man. This situation reminds me, not in the same way, but in a similar way, because I know Saquon didn't have questions like this, but it reminds me of that situation where you trade away your star because you didn't want to pay him for whatever reason. We'd rather do this. We feel like we'd be in a better situation, if we just let him go. And Saquon comes to Philadelphia and we fly high. We in the Super Bowl. And the Giants like, dang, we just got to sit back here and just watch this man go win the Super Bowl. Similar situation again, more question marks for Luka, his attitude, his mindset, drinking, and all this other stuff that people want to bring up, right? We don't want to pay Luka, man. We feel like we'll be better with Luka. We'll just take AD and Kyrie and we'll run from there. And y'all fall by the wayside, just like the New York Giants. And now you see Luka with the Lakers, like he getting ready to make a run, bro. It's something else. And the last thing I'll say is this. Last thing, I don't know if I said last thing before, but this is the last thing I want to say about the whole situation. The reason why guys like Stephen A. and other guys who came out and said the Mavs was the number 1 seed in the West as soon as they make this trade, as soon as they made that trade, the reason why it made me so mad is because they looked at this situation as if just because now you have an injury-prone AD, and it's no shot at AD because I got a lot of love for AD, so I'm not throwing shots at him, but an AD that is kind of injury-prone, and the Kyrie Irving who can at times be injury-prone as well, but they're two stars in the league. Now all of a sudden they won the trade, and the talk about it was they won it in the immediate. The Lakers won the long term, the Mavs won the immediate. And I'm looking at the situation like this, Joe. I watch Anthony Davis in LA, and I watch how he played. Anthony Davis don't know whether he want to be a number 1 or a number 2 half the time. He don't know. Sometimes he want to defer to LeBron. Other times he like, you know what, I'm going to take this game over. Sometimes he's trying to make a decision mid-game. He start the game 20 points, 10 rebounds at half, and then second half he come out, he's super passive. Now he want to be number 2. Bro, you was dominating the first half. Keep dominating the second half. Kyrie Irving has never been at his best as the number 1 option. He has always been at his best as the number 2. With Luka, with LeBron, he has been at his best as the number 2. So my question is, who was going to be the number 1 option over here? Who was going to be the guy? Was Kyrie going to be the killer and lead the team as the number 1 option, or was it going to be AD? That like it, even though it was going to be good, and if they stayed healthy, maybe they could be a top 6 seed, avoid the play-in. But I never believed the hype, even next year, fully healthy. I don't believe the hype that they could be this immaculate team led by Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. I never saw that, man. So, yes, like I said, I feel for the Mavs players. I feel for Kyrie. I even feel for AD, man. Like, he is also watching the Lakers be the number 2 seed in the West. He also sitting back watching this, beat the Denver Nuggets, something he struggled to do for years. So he's sitting back watching all this like, dang, bro, Brian look like he having a lot of fun. Like, this kind of crazy. So I feel bad for them. But Nico, you made a mistake, my brother. You made a mistake. And Kev, at least we got that Super Bowl, man. Hurt season. At least we got the bowl, man. You know what I'm saying? At least we got the Super Bowl, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving the last 6 weeks had played more minutes than anybody else.
Come on, man. That's never been him, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't never been Kyrie.
Like he said, he also has an injury history. And like in AD's number 2, I'm with you on that. Like it's only been 2. Always bring this up. But this is my thing about Dame. You're better than number 2, bro. I'm telling you, because there only been 2 point guards in NBA history who's been the best player on the championship team. Steph Curry, Isaiah Thomas. That's it. That's why it was amazing that Allen Iverson got so far. We like, bro, there's no way this small guy got all the way to the finals.
You don't think? Well, Magic wasn't a small guy, but you
wouldn't
get
he's
mad.
Okay,
but you mean smaller guards.
That's just point guard, like small players.
Guard.
Like,
I got you.
Small guard, you need, like, it's an NBA, bro. It's a tall man's league.
Mm-hmm.
The best players normally a shooting guard or something like that. And Magic is 6'9", though. He's an exception. Oscar Robertson, he could never win until he got Kareem.
Yep.
And Kareem was the best player. Man, Bob Cousy, that's a long time ago. But Bob Cousy couldn't even win until he got Bill Russell.
Yeah.
And they were like that.
Yeah.
Historian
of the game right here, man. JJ, Joe Jordan, man. He taking it way back. Bob Cousy.
I just study. I ain't no old man. I just study.
Oh,
man. Shout out to Kyrie, man. Speedy recovery. You know, he posted something on IG, I think. He went live, and he talked about how he's already – he said it hasn't been 48 hours, but the recovery mentally, spiritually, and physically has already started. You know how Kyrie is. He a deep dude, you know?
Yeah, he is. And I respect that about him. That about him. Kyrie be all right. He'll be
good. Good show, AJ, man. Great show, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun today. My last words for everybody that's watching. I appreciate everybody who tunes in to Unfazed from both YouTube channels. You know, my channel, AJ's channel. And make sure y'all continue to check us out on social media, on Instagram. We posting content on a daily basis. So make sure y'all check us out. You can find me at Joe Never Lose everywhere. And AJ, when he talk, he'll let you know where you, because he got some different names, Twitter, IG, right? So he gonna let y'all know how y'all can find him. All right, but you can find me anywhere at Joe Never Lose, or you can follow the network at Refuse to Lose Sports. Shout out to the whole network while I'm talking about them. Shout out to everybody in the R2L family. We appreciate everybody in the chats. Shout out to you, AJ. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Commanders! Y'all heard AJ? Go get Devontae. Go get Devontae. I'm cool now. Terry, Devontae, DEEBO. We need a dynamic running back. That's what we really need. Find us a dynamic running back. We get one. Woo! We could find one of those like in the fifth round. Something like that. A dynamic running back with some speed. And then buffer that offensive line, the D line, we straight. We don't really need the back end is troublesome because they're one-on-one all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are one-on-one all the time. But you get the D line straight, we get that safety out. Shout out to the Eagles. They showed the blueprint. So I'm excited, man. And the Kings keep doing your thing. 4-game winning streak. People sleeping on us like we can't win a series. I think we can at least win a series. Depends on who we line up with, though. We got a lot of talented guys. So I'm excited for this whole playoff run for all the teams. And AJ, I don't know if you heard me on the last show. I'm a Kings fan, but I ain't going to lie to you. Outside of the Kings, the team I look forward to watching, the Lakers, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Hey. we box office, bro. We
Luka
are box office. Man.
Luka is my guy, bro. And, like, LeBron playing a different level with Luka next to him. But he already was playing a different level. But he's accepting the all-ball role, which I really appreciate about LeBron. Yeah. He's getting hit still, all ball. You know, he got so much energy. Like, it's ridiculous. So,
bro,
that's my last word.
Man, I not to go on a quick little rant, but I've been saying for the last 2-3 years. Not only does LeBron have the ability to play off ball because of the type of player, LeBron's a natural slasher, playmaker, but he's also a natural slasher, bro. He has the ability. I mean, come on now. He has the ability to play that role, number one. And number two, he been wanting to defer to someone. He has been wanting to give the reins over to someone. And so that he could, at this point in his career, pick his spots to be who he wants to be. I ain't got to go out here and give you 30 every night, but when I need to, then I will. That's the kind of role he wants to play. He wanted to get a ball to a young guy, let a young guy take over. And AD did that from time to time. Not enough. When Luka really get it going, that ain't something we got to worry about. And then we got other guys, Austin Reeves, he going to be picking it up as well. Rui, he got to get back healthy. JJ Redick is coaching his butt off. We got shooters, DFS shooting the ball, shooting the lights out. Like, we got guys. We got guys. So my final words is Lakers, keep hooping, man. Keep hooping, man. Just continue to build that chemistry. Continue to build that camaraderie, man. You can tell the confidence level is growing. For us to be winning these games, and I don't even think we playing our best ball yet. Like, Luka is not fully Luka, and we still getting these wins right now. It's looking scary, man. I think the league's I think the league's worst nightmare is a fresh 40-year-old LeBron in the playoffs. That's the league's worst, especially in the young Western Conference. He don't have to go crazy every night, Joe. He get to coast and let Luka do. Oh my good. Oh, it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly. So Lakers, continue to build that chemistry. Continue to ball. Luka, take your time. We still got a little time. Nice little ramp up period. Take your time. You know what I'm saying? Get your shot off. Let's step back. You know what I'm saying? Left wing. You know what I'm saying? That's his thing. You know what I'm saying? Continue to build on that. And we should be good. JJ, keep coaching and doing your thing. And then over on the green side, over on the Super Bowl championship side, over in Philadelphia, man. It's just a wonderful time to be Eagles and the Lakers fan. It's just a great time. It's amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Over with the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, man. Listen, the number one priority right now is not Myles Garrett. It is not Max Crosby. It is not Milton Williams. It is not bringing back Slay. Re-sign Zach Bond. Re-sign Zach Bond. Ideally, I want Zach Bond re-signed by the time we come back to record again. Logically speaking, I think Zach Bond at least wants to test the market because he's never had the opportunity to test the market before. But however it needs to get done, Howie, that needs to be the move that is prioritized. Bring back Zach Bond. And if I'm being honest, if you bring back Zach Bond, as long as you don't make any other catastrophic trades, trading away some big-time player, I'm good. Just get Zach back. Get Zach back. And we good, man. We gonna run this thing back, and we sitting in a pretty good spot. Appreciate everybody for tuning in every single week. Like Joe said, make sure y'all share the content, like the content, comment. I know when we post our stuff, we be saying some stuff now. I know y'all don't be agreeing. Don't just be liking it like, nah, I'm gonna let him slide. No, let us know. No, you wrong, bruh. You tripping. Let us know. Stir some debate in the comment section because this is what we do. We do it the best. You know what I mean? We do it the best. What was that?
Where can they find you?
Oh, so to make things less complicated, just type my name in. Just type Artis Woods in everywhere, and I'll pop up. Because some social media sites is at AJ2K, and then some of them is just my full name. Because on a professional level, I was told it's better just to have my full name as my @ And so if you just type in Artis Woods, as you see at the top of the screen there, you'll find all my social media pages. I don't have a very common name.
And my name is very common. So
I feel you.
I'm not even Joseph. I'm just straight Joe. So
man, just type in Artis Woods. You'll find everything, man. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. And like usual, we remain unfazed.
Devontae Adams, unfazed. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button, no matter what you're listening to or watching it. Hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.